Hey Reddit, I'm Nathan, 38. I never thought my life would turn into a walking cliche, but here we are. A bitter divorce, a gold-digging ex, and a smug lawyer who thought he had me by the throat. They all thought they had won. They all thought I'd crash and burn. But what they didn't realize was that I never lose. And 6 months later, I made sure they regretted every second of it. It all started when my now ex-wife, Lisa, decided she was done playing house with me. Her words, not mine. We had been married for 8 years. And during that time, I had built my business from the ground up. I put in sleepless nights, missed out on vacations, worked my ass off to create something for nothing. Lisa, she enjoyed the lifestyle, the nice house, the luxury cars, the expensive vacations. But as soon as I hit a rough patch, as soon as the business had one bad quarter, she was already planning her exit. The divorce was ugly. Lisa didn't just want out, she wanted to bleed me dry. She lawyered up with one of the most vicious attorneys in the city. And I was too tired to fight. Not because I couldn't, but because I already knew how this would play out. She'd take half. She'd feel like she had won. And then, she'd come crawling back. Because people like Lisa, they don't know how to survive without someone propping them up. So I let her have it. I didn't argue, didn't negotiate, didn't beg. Just sat there as her lawyer smirked at me across the table and said, "Just a matter of time before you fail without her, Nathan." Lisa laughed. "You'll never make it without me." I didn't flinch, didn't react, just nodded once, and walked out. They thought they broke me, that I'd crumble, that my business would collapse without her. And for a while, I let them think that. But what they didn't know was that I was already 10 steps ahead. Because the moment Lisa walked out of my life, I was finally free, and I was about to prove just how unstoppable I really was. For the next few months, I kept my head down and worked, rebuilt my business from scratch, made smarter deals, cut out the dead weight. And while Lisa was out there burning through the money she took from me, I was quietly turning my company into something even bigger. I went from struggling to thriving, from barely getting by to hitting record profits. And by the time 6 months had passed, I had made back everything she took, and then some. But the best part was how she found out. Because karma, it always delivers. And when she realized just how badly she miscalculated, it was priceless. It started with a text from a number I hadn't seen in months. "Lisa, hey, can we talk?" I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I smiled, because I already knew she had finally hit the wall. And this was going to be fun. That I stared at the text for a solid minute, debating if I even wanted to respond. "Lisa, hey, can we talk?" Talk. Now, she wanted to talk. Funny. She didn't care about talking when she was taking half my business and laughing about it. I set my phone down, ignored it, waited, because I knew her too well, and I knew she wasn't done. 15 minutes later, my phone buzzed again. "Lisa, Nathan, I just want to catch up." No pressure. Oh, there was pressure. Not on me, on her. I could feel it through the screen. She was trying to be casual, nonchalant. But I already knew she needed something, and I wasn't about to make it easy for her. I went back to work, ignoring her. 2 hours later, another text. "Lisa, I heard your business is doing well. I'm happy for you." There it was. The setup, the fishing expedition. She wasn't texting to congratulate me. She was texting because she finally realized she made the biggest mistake of her life. And now, she was trying to find a way back in. Too bad for her. That door was locked. That night, I was out having drinks with some business partners when my phone rang. "Lisa." I let go to voicemail. 2 minutes later, she called again. I smirked, watching her name flash across the screen. Then, I answered. "Lisa." She let out a breath, like she'd been waiting for this moment all day. "Nathan, hey, I didn't think you'd pick up." "Clearly," I said flatly. "What do you want?" A nervous laugh. "Wow, straight to the point. I wanted to see how you were doing." I leaned back in my seat. "I'm doing great." Silence. Like she wasn't expecting that answer. Finally, she cleared her throat. "Yeah, I heard. I saw your company's expansion announcement. That's amazing." More silence. I could feel her scrambling for a way to ease into it. So I decided to just put her out of her misery. "Lisa, cut the crap. What do you want?" She hesitated. Then she sighed. Things haven't been easy for me since the divorce. There it was. The admission of failure. I stayed quiet, letting her talk. I thought I'd be fine, you know. I thought I could handle it. But things didn't work out the way I planned. Oh, I bet they didn't. She exhaled. I made a mistake, Nathan. A huge mistake. I smirked. Yeah? What kind? She hesitated again. I trusted the wrong people. I bet she did. Lisa had always been terrible with money. The second she got her hands on her divorce settlement, she probably thought she'd be living the high life forever. But money runs out fast when you don't know how to handle it. And now, she was realizing just how expensive it was to live without me. I decided to play along. What happened, Lisa? She sighed dramatically, like she wanted me to feel bad for her. I tried investing, but I got bad advice. Lost a lot of money. Then I tried to start my own business, but it just didn't work out. Translation. She burned through everything she took from me in record time. And now, she was broke. I almost laughed. Instead, I kept my voice neutral. Damn, that's rough. She latched onto that. Yeah, it is. And Nathan, I know I don't deserve this, but I was wondering if we could maybe talk. In person. Oh, I bet she wanted that. She wanted to butter me up, make me feel nostalgic, maybe even convince me to take her back. So I asked the one question I already knew the answer to. Lisa, are you asking me for money? Silence. Then, a hesitant. I mean, not directly, but I laughed. Actually laughed. Nah, I said. We both know that's exactly what this is. She got defensive. Nathan, come on. You're doing amazing. And I'm happy for you. I really am. I just thought that I'd be stupid enough to save you. I finished for her. She sucked in a sharp breath. That's not fair. I smirked. Neither was taking half my business. More silence. Then, voice barely above a whisper. I messed up. I let that hang in the air for a second. Then, I delivered the final blow. Yeah, you did. Click. I hung up, blocked her number, and never looked back. I never heard from her again after that. But I heard about her. She tried to restart her life from scratch. But without my money, without my business, she had nothing. And every time I heard her name, it was attached to the same word. Desperate. She had bet on my failure. She had laughed at the idea that I'd ever make it without her. And now, she was the one drowning, while I was thriving. And let me tell you, Reddit, that victory was the sweetest thing in the world. But the best part? I wasn't done yet. Because what happened next was even better. After I hung up on Lisa, I felt nothing. No guilt, no sympathy, just satisfaction. She had made her bed. Now she had to lie in it. I went back to my life, expecting that to be the end of it. But Lisa wasn't done. She still thought she had a way back in. And what she did next only made her fall harder. A week passed, then another. I heard nothing from her. I figured she had finally accepted her loss. Then, one morning I got a text from a different number. Lisa, hey Nathan. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I need to see you. Please. I sighed. Here we go again. I ignored it. The next day, another text. Lisa, this isn't about money. I just need to talk. One conversation. That's all I'm asking for. I rolled my eyes. She was persistent. I'd give her that. But I knew what this was. She was just changing tactics. Since begging for money didn't work, she was trying to play on my emotions. Didn't matter. I wasn't falling for it. So I ignored her again. But then, she crossed the line. I was at work when I got a call from my secretary. Mr. Carter, there's a woman here asking to see you. She says it's urgent. I frowned. Did she give a name? There was a pause. Then, reluctantly, she said her name is Lisa. I nearly laughed. Lisa actually showed up at my office. Desperate, didn't even begin to cover it. I exhaled. Tell her I'm not available. Another pause. Then my secretary lowered her voice. She's refusing to leave. Of course she was. I pinched the bridge of my nose. Fine. Send her up. I was curious now. What was her angle this time? She had to know she had no leverage. So what exactly was she hoping to gain? I was about to find out. 5 minutes later, Lisa walked into my office. I barely recognized her. She looked rough, like she hadn't slept in days. Dark circles under her eyes. Her usual designer outfits? Gone. She was wearing something cheap, like she had picked it up from a clearance rack. She forced a smile. Hey, Nathan. I leaned back in my chair. Lisa, what do you want? She flinched. Straight to it, huh? I didn't respond. She sighed, wringing her hands. Look, I know I screwed up. I know I hurt you. And I know you don't owe me anything. I raised an eyebrow. You're right. I don't. She swallowed hard. But I need you to hear me out. I sighed. You have 5 minutes. She took a deep breath. I lost everything, Nathan. Everything. The money I took in the divorce? Gone. My investments? Gone. And now, I'm drowning in debt. I stayed silent. She licked her lips. I don't know where else to turn. There it was. She had nowhere else to go. So now, I was her last resort. I tilted my head. And what exactly do you expect me to do about that? Her face crumpled. Nathan, please. Just help me figure something out. I'll do anything. I cut her off. Lisa, you left me when you thought I had nothing. You took half my business. And now, because you failed, you think you deserve a second chance. She looked down, shoulders shaking. Then, in a whisper, I don't have anywhere to go. I let that sink in for a second. Then I leaned forward, staring her dead in the eyes. Not my problem. She gasped, like she actually couldn't believe I said it. Like she actually expected me to forgive everything. She opened her mouth to argue. I held up a hand. Lisa, let me be clear. This is exactly what you deserve. You thought you were better than me. Thought you were the one holding everything together. But turns out, you were just dead weight. Tears welled up in her eyes. Nathan, please. I stood up. We're done here. She blinked rapidly. So that's it? You're just going to throw me away? I smirked. Funny. That's exactly what you did to me. She sniffled. I made a mistake. I walked past her, opened the door, and gestured for her to leave. Yeah, I said. You did. She stared at me for a long moment. Then, she walked out. And this time, I knew it was for good. After that, I never heard from Lisa again. She disappeared from my life completely. I heard rumors about her, that she was bouncing from place to place, that she had burned through every bridge, every favor, every last bit of goodwill, that she was completely alone. And you know what? I felt nothing. No satisfaction. No pity. Just peace. Because for the first time in a long time, I was free. Lisa was gone. Her voice, her demands, her toxic presence, gone. And I was thriving. But the best part, the part that really made everything come full circle, was what happened next. Because karma, it wasn't done with her yet. And trust me, she was about to learn the hardest lesson of her life. After I kicked Lisa out of my office, I thought that was it. She was done. She had nowhere to go, no one to turn to, and as far as I was concerned, she was no longer my problem. I had moved on. But life has a way of making sure people like her get exactly what they deserve. And when I found out what happened next, I didn't feel bad, not even a little. It started a few months later. I was at a networking event, talking with some investors, when one of them, an older guy named Greg, pulled me aside. Hey, Nathan, you got a minute? I nodded. What's up? He smirked. Your ex-wife tried to get a meeting with me last week. I blinked. Lisa? Yep. She pitched me some nonsense about a business opportunity. Seemed desperate. I raised an eyebrow. And Greg chuckled. And I turned her down, of course. But she didn't take it well. Started talking about how she used to be married to you, how she helped build your business, how she deserved a second shot. I laughed. Second shot? Lisa was grasping at straws. Greg shook his head. Honestly, it was sad. She thought throwing her name around would get her a deal. But for what I've heard, you're doing just fine without her. Damn right I am. He patted my shoulder. Just thought you should know. Sounds like she's running out of options. I smirked. She ran out of options the second she walked away from me. After that, I started hearing Lisa's name more and more. She was trying to worm her way into business circles, trying to scam investors into funding some fake company she had no idea how to run. She had no experience, no plan, no credibility. And every time she dropped my name, people laughed her out of the room. Because by now, everyone knew the truth. Lisa hadn't built anything. She had just leached off me until she couldn't anymore. And now, she was learning the hard way that, without me, she was nobody. Then came the final blow. One night, I got a call from my lawyer. Hey, Nathan, you're gonna love this. I leaned back in my chair. Hit me. Lisa's being sued. Big time. I raised an eyebrow. For what? Fraud. Apparently, She convinced some rich guy to invest in her business. But when he realized there was no business, he took her to court. I chuckled. So she finally tried full-on scamming people? Looks like it. And she lost. I whistled. How bad? She owes hundreds of thousands. And guess what? I grinned. She doesn't have it. Exactly. I let that sink in. Lisa had taken half my business, burned through every dime she got in the divorce. And now, she was in so much debt that she'd never crawl out of it. Karma had finally crushed her. A week later, I ran into someone I hadn't seen in years, Lisa's former best friend, Ashley. She recognized me immediately. Nathan, oh my God, it's been forever. I smiled. Yeah, been a while. She smirked. I take it you heard about Lisa? Oh, I heard. Ashley shook her head. It's bad, Nathan. She's completely broke. She lost her apartment, can't afford a lawyer, and now she's trying to get a job. I laughed. Lisa? Working a real job? Yep. And guess what? What? No one will hire her. That was a cherry on top. Lisa had spent years acting like she was above everyone, like she was too good for regular jobs. And now, she was begging for one, and nobody wanted her. Ashley leaned in. She actually told me she was thinking of calling you. I raised an eyebrow. For what? Ashley snorted. To see if you'd help her out. I laughed. Loudly. Yeah, that's not happening. Ashley smirked. Figured. Just thought you'd enjoy knowing she's completely screwed. I did. I really did. Lisa never called me. Maybe she finally realized that I was done with her. Maybe she was too embarrassed. Maybe she had finally accepted that I wasn't her safety net anymore. But whatever the reason, it didn't matter. Because for the first time in my life, she was completely out of it. No texts, no calls, no manipulation, just silence. And let me tell you, Reddit, it was the sweetest silence I had ever heard. I don't know where Lisa is now. Last I heard, she was bouncing from couch to couch, barely surviving. She had no money, no job, no friends, and no one left to save her. And me, I was doing better than ever. My business was thriving. My life was stress-free, and I had zero regrets. Because Lisa had played a stupid game. And in the end, she won a stupid prize. And trust me, she deserved every bit of it. But before you think this is the end, there was one last thing. One final twist I never saw coming. Something so hilarious, so satisfying, so absolutely perfect that it made everything come full circle. Because karma wasn't quite done yet. And trust me, you're gonna love this. After everything Lisa had done, taking half my business, mocking me, thinking I'd fail, I thought her downfall was already complete. She was broke. She was desperate. She had no job, no money, and no way back. But life had one last gift to give me. And trust me, it was perfect. It started with a message request on social media. I almost ignored it, but something told me to check. And when I opened it, I burst out laughing. It was from Lisa. Lisa, hey Nathan. Long time no talk. Hope you're doing well. Oh, this was going to be good. I didn't respond. Just waited. And an hour later, she sent another. Lisa, I know things didn't end well between us, but I was hoping we could grab coffee sometime. No pressure. Just want to catch up. Catch up. Lisa didn't want to catch up. She wanted something. But this time, I decided to play along. I replied, me coffee? Sure. My treat. She responded immediately. Lisa, really? That'd be amazing. When are you free? I smirked. She had no idea what was coming. We met at a coffee shop downtown. Lisa walked in wearing a fake smile, but I could tell. She looked exhausted, like life had been kicking her ass nonstop. She sat down across from me. Nathan, it's so good to see you. I nodded. You too. She glanced around. Wow, you look amazing. I did. I was thriving. She, on the other hand, was barely keeping it together. She tucked her hair behind her ear. So, how have you been? I leaned back. Fantastic. Business is booming. Life is good. Her smile twitched. That's great. I always knew you'd bounce back. I smirked. Did you? Her face reddened. She coughed. So, I actually wanted to talk to you about something. Here it was. I sipped my coffee. Go on. She hesitated, biting her lip. I know I made mistakes. I know I hurt you. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. I tilted my head. Are you She nodded quickly. Yes. And I was hoping we could maybe start fresh. As friends. Friends. Hilarious. I played along. And what does starting fresh mean to you? She let out a nervous laugh. Well, I'm in a bit of a tough spot. And I was thinking, maybe you could help me out. There it was. The real reason she wanted to meet. I leaned in. You need money. She swallowed. Just a little. Just to get back on my feet. I nodded slowly. And why would I do that? She blinked. Because you're a good person. I laughed. Loudly. Lisa, you spent years treating me like garbage. You laughed in my face when you took half my business. You told me I'd fail without you. She squirmed. I didn't mean. I cut her off. And now, you're here, broke, humiliated, and begging me for money. Her lips trembled. Nathan, please. I don't have anywhere else to go. I took a deep breath. Then, I pulled out my wallet. Her eyes lit up. I took out a $20 bill, slid it across the table. There. That's all you get. She blinked rapidly. W.H. I stood up. You made your choices, Lisa. Now you get to live with them. Her face crumpled. Nathan, please. I turned and walked out. For the last time. I never saw Lisa again after that. Last I heard, she moved to a different state, trying to start over. But nobody trusted her. Nobody wanted her. And nobody cared. Because people like Lisa, they burn every bridge and act shocked when they have nowhere left to go. And me? I was free. For good. And it felt incredible. People will use you as long as you let them. They'll take and take. And when you have nothing left, they'll leave you behind. But the second they fall, they'll come running back. And that's when you have to shut the door in their face. Because some people, they don't deserve second chances. They don't deserve your kindness. They don't even deserve a response. They deserve exactly what they gave you. Nothing. And trust me, that's the best revenge of all.